Alrighty. It looks like... Alright, cool. Microphone's working. Game audio's working. Awesome stuff. Hey, guys. Sorry for the late as heck start. I kind of got caught up with other stuff and had to wait for the patch to download, but here we are. So, this week is very interesting. We're at 4 weeks straight now, I think, of 7-star Sokai tier stuff. Yeah. I hope we go back to normal banners soon. It's kind of getting out of control. Anyways, yeah, I need to shave. I'm starting to look like a homeless bum again, but I'm also extremely lazy. So there's that. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at the event stuff. Then we're going to look at, well, event suit, the event shop. We'll hit up the gacha, take a look at the Twitter videos, alteration. Yeah, actually, is there a build? There shouldn't be a new build project this week. We should still be on the last one. Oh, no, it oh, wait a second. That explains everything. So they've given us a build project, Sinanju, that goes to 7-star. Why? Man, I don't even know what to say. Anyways, let's get cracking. I do want to kind of get this video rolling. I'm a little late, so shop. Let's take a look at our new welfare stuff and go from there. Are my glasses in range? No, they're all the way over on the countertop. Screw that, then I'll go without my glasses. So, Pioneer Coin, the Zaku Tank Green Makaku. So, let's start from the top. After 15 seconds pass, enemy shooting power reduced by 25%. So, this will only actually take effect for whatever suit this is equipped onto. But the 15 seconds prerequisite makes this really not useful at all. What is going on with this? So, no. You gotta wait 15 seconds for us to even activate in the first place. And it's only effective on the suit that this is put on. That's just not... Yeah, I'm not surprised they spelled it wrong. They still have Cy Argyle spelled incorrect, and that's been a problem since launch, and I know I've brought it up before. So, I'm not terribly shocked by this revelation that they've spelled something wrong. Alright. Word tags, Zeon and Zaku type. Both of them are obviously extremely on point for this suit. A little interested in its kind of fusion there. Now, granted, Zaku type is not a very common word tag, so this is really cool to see. Zeon, much more common in relation. Numbers wise, alright, so we actually do have a significant amount of shot attack on this head for a welfare. We're almost at 3,200 before any kind of carryovers. After carryovers, we're more at like 3,400 or so. That's some crazy high numbers. Typically, we'd see 27, 2,800 post Super Sokai. So seeing this passively at 3,200 is really, really good stuff numerically. Cool beans. Yeah, cool. Okay, so statistically, cool. Word tags, interesting. Zeon's workable. Zaku type, it's rare. And the trait's just completely worthless. Torso. Yeah, the dark green color palette is really cool. I totally agree with you there, bud. That is some good stuff. When operated on auto, enemy EX skill penetration reduced by 22%. So this only actually triggers if you're controlling the suit and it's on auto. This doesn't count if you have if it's a 3 machine group and you have an AI controlling another suit, that doesn't count. You have to be controlling it and you have to be on auto for this to actually trigger. And enemy EX skill penetration reduction, that is pierce on an EX skill, that is being reduced by 22%. So, yeah. If they're using a D power or a D pierce EX skill, this really won't change anything. If they're using something that has like a plus pierce, this could have a large impact. But again, this only affects the suit this is equipped onto, which heavily limits its usefulness as a trait. Zeon Zaku type again for the word tags. Again, very workable. Zaku type, it's nice to see a little more on the rare end. Zeon's workable, used in some traits as a trigger. Standalone, it's okay. As for stats on the torso, interesting. Okay, so we're looking at about 1450 or so, maybe 1500 shot attack. It's actually really good. Do recall torsos typically post Super Sokai on welfares have about 1100 on melee and shot attack. That's what we expect to see. This actually takes it more in a specialized route and pushes it up to really high, 1450, almost 1500. That's really good for a welfare. Overall, again, much like the head, statistically, this is pretty cool stuff. Tag-wise, again, much like the head, you know, it's kind of workable. Trait, much like the head, useless. All right, arms. While Zeon, enemy melee power reduced. So again, this is only going to affect the suit that this is actually equipped onto. Zeon is a workable tag, as I've mentioned. It's not terribly uncommon either, so at least you'll have good access to it. Yeah, these kind of traits have very limited viability because it really boils down to, you know, what your build is and do you need this? And as it's a melee down, are you even fighting a melee suit? If you equip this and you go fight a shot suit, that'll be friggin' worthless practically, right? So Zeon for Forest. So we got rid of the Zaku type tag and we bring in for Forest. Not a big fan of the 4 line of tags. I bring this up every single video because there's always a 4 tag in there somewhere. But it is thematically on point, especially if you consider the name of the event. Workable. Statistically, okay, cool. Again, much like the head and the torso, we're seeing an excess in shot. Melee is very heavily dialed back, looking at about 2350 or so. Not bad, but for a suit that you may want to use melee-wise, there's better welfare stuff available. There's even better in the 4-star pick ticket pool. But shot-wise, we're looking at quite an interesting pair of grippy claws. We're sitting at about, what, 1400, 1450 or so shot attack on the arms. Not the best we've seen from a welfare, granted, but still really good, especially when you consider the head and the torso as well. So, interesting. Yeah, so much like the head and the torso, statistically, good stuff. Trait, no. Why? Tags, workable. It seems to be a very interesting suit overall. We get to our first EX skill as well. The multi-tube missile launcher, low cooldown, B power. All right, that is workable. B power on paper should do what it needs to do. Some decent damage output. Low cooldown means more or less spammable. And as it is a physical shot attack, you know, shot EX should have a relatively easy time landing it. Relatively, because if this is a dumb missile set, then you're probably going to miss. But if it has any type of homing capabilities, the AI really won't be able to do much about it. Zeon for Forest tags, where I talked about that combo. And statistically, do keep in mind legs in the backpack tend to have the lowest distribution for offensive stats. So seeing these above 1k on a welfare, or more like 1100 post Super Sokai, is really good. Numerically, base, we're at, what, 1150, which is really good to start with. And after carryover, we're at about 1400, 1500 or so. Solid numbers for a pair of tread legs. Good stuff. Yeah, EX skill, workable. Tags, workable. Stats, good. Oh, there we go. And backpack. Now, as some people may have noted, the back piece does have a couple of people hanging out on it. Yeah, so be careful when you're fighting it. You don't want to commit genocide, do you? You mass murderers, you. All right. Observational assistance. Unable to move. Your back crane sends useful info to your allies. Ally shot attack up by 69%. Damn. So that's really cool, actually. So I like this. This is a really cool precedent I'm seeing. Okay, so it's obviously a very short buff, sitting at about 15 seconds. It has a low initial cooldown, 9 seconds, and a relatively low general cooldown, 41 seconds. Its overall downtime is just over 30 seconds at absolute max if you have 0 cooldown reduction. Honestly, this is really, really cool shit. So, this is actually a suit where you would want to set up as much damage reduction as you can, or ways for it to help your team without moving, whether it be AoE heals or whatever. And its entire purpose would be to throw down the observational assistance and sustain and be effectively a giant buffer. And that 69 shot attack boost is absolutely nutter. Man, that's actually really cool. Can't wait to see what they do for the melee side. That's really cool. I like the way that they kind of go about this. It doesn't matter that it can't move. That's perfectly fine. You wouldn't use this. Well, you could use this on a primary suit. You just can't move. It doesn't mean you can't attack, at least based on verbiage. Maybe you can't attack either. But based on this, you use it, you can't move. But it doesn't matter, because Ray's ally shot attack means you don't get the boost. Your allies do. If it said Ray's squad shot attack, you would also get the buff. But as it is ally shot attack, it's only your other teammates. With that in mind, this is very much like a martyr styled skill. You use it at sacrifice of yourself to make your teammates stronger. And I think that's actually really, really cool. Is it going to be like good? I don't know. Frankly, in terms of min-maxing, this isn't going to really bring much to the table at the end of the day. But I can see this having some real like interesting uses in meme compositions, perhaps even multi-missions and stuff if you really feel like cranking it up. That's interesting. I always like seeing new things, and this is definitely one of them. And yes, this is the highest direct shot attack buff in the game. I believe this is the next highest is 59%. So this is some good shit. All right. Numerically, it's a little less offensive than the rest of the suit, only sitting at about 1250 or so after carryover, but that's still a little bit above the average we see for welfare backpacks. Yeah, no, this is cool. The EX skill alone makes it really worth getting it just because of how unique it is. Especially, come on, who's gonna shoot the machine with that backpack on it when they know they're killing people? Think about it like that. Who's gonna shoot you knowing they're killing people? Heartless bastards, that's who. Alright, so that's interesting. Now let's take a look at our shop here. Gundam type, mobile fighter, heavy armor, long range, and 4 Tundra. Alright. Now, gotcha. Something to keep in mind here. I know we did get the Sinanju build project I am going to take a peek at it, and I'm going to take a look at it in alteration. And I'm looking forward to see how the numbers work. But from what we've seen so far, every 7-star upgrade has like, it's not a direct percentile boost, much like 5-star to 6-star was. That was like a percentile. We could really tell what the numbers were going to be quickly. This 7-star thing seems to be more, what's the word? Catered to each specific suit, which is why they're slowly rolling it out only for new suits and not making it backwards compatible. They could also be not making it backwards compatible to make money, but my fingers are crossed here that they are actually manually doing these numbers for the 7-star bit, or they have custom numbers for each suit. Fingers are crossed that that's actually true. Otherwise, yeah, I don't got good things about that one. No good mojo. They're robots. No, Mana, they're people. Robots are people too. Okay. So, with that in mind, what I've just talked about, 7-star, I'm not really going to worry too much about looking at the Wing Gundam Zero here. I'm just going to look at it in alteration. I am interested to see what the Sinanju looks like. Actually, I may as well just look at the Sinanju in alteration as well. It doesn't matter. The 7-star is like actually like hand-tuned per suit. There's no point looking at stats because every suit's going to be so wildly different. Too bad the claw arms don't have any gun module. It'd be interesting. Anyways, so with all that in mind, I'm going to look at the new pilots, and then we're going to hop on over to the alterations where I'm going to look at the Wing Gundam Zero, the new one, as well as the build project Sinanju. It's just, with 7-star, it's just no point looking at the stats otherwise. Like, they're 7-star. If you get them to 7-star, they're better than everything else numerically. There's zero question on that one. It's the entire point of 7-star. So it really comes down to, do you have the resources to upgrade them? Yes, probably worth it. Do you not have the resources? Then don't bother. You may as well just wait a couple more months. Actually, I would say probably wait about 6 more months or so, where 7-star tune-up items will become much more common, much more available, much like right now we have so much access to the 6-star tune-up items through so many means. As it starts becoming more accessible to players. That way you can get the newest suits that are the strongest, instead of getting a suit now, taking weeks to upgrade it to 7-star, and by the time you do that, its stats are nullified by the newest shiny toy that came out. If you're just number chasing, be patient. If the Wing Gundam Zero is your favorite, or the Sinanju is your favorite, okay, yeah, pick it up, sure, if you're able to. But if you're just meta chasing, don't bother, man. Frankly, just wait until things become more common, or you have enough to instantly 7-star tune something, right? Anyways, enough of the segueing. Let's take a look at our pilots. We'll start with Mahalia Merrill. With Technique Attribute, enemy shooting power reduced by 25%. Technique Attribute, super easy to get. Enemy shooting power reduced, only affects whatever this is put onto. So, it is... Oh, okay, she's Defender. Interesting. Okay. Numerically, lots of melee. Actually, we're looking at about 2100 melee on a 3-star pilot. That is really high. Unfortunately, as she's a defender, she doesn't really get to leverage that. So, mid-range, 4 urban area tags. Mid-range is an okay tertiary. It does act as a trigger for some traits. For urban area, I think there's like one thing that it activates. It's kind of, it's there, you know. She's okay, frankly. If she had at least like a positive modifier for her stats, you know, like an outfighter or an infighter job, probably be a lot better. But with the defender multiplier, yeah. All right, and Wolf Enekel. Probably butchered his name. I don't care. All right. Against enemy with advantageous attribute, all power boosted by 30%. So you have an advantageous attribute, you're already getting a nice healthy boost against them. This simply takes it further. It's a good mod. As long as you're fighting something that you're advantageous to, you'll just get even stronger. I do prefer the ones that have a much more neutral trigger, but okay. Acceptable. Numerically, oh wow, that's a lot of melee on you, Mr. End Fighter. So we're looking at about 3,100 melee attack. That's pretty friggin' good. Nice. Yeah, I'm okay with this guy. He has a lot of raw number there. As he does have a lot in the defense categories, the marks will do really well for him, and the carryover will be rather extreme. Trait, healthy. The all power boost is really nice, and typically we do like running with advantage, so in those scenarios you'd get the benefit. Federation and high mobility, word tags. Both of those are, yeah, good, powerful tertiaries, so all right. Good job, Wolf. Good job. Proud of you. And I believe that is it. Yes. Okay. So we'll take a look at our Twitter video for the Wing Gundam whatever. And we will go from there. Did it even get a video this week? Okay. Now, this may get me in trouble with YouTube, but I feel like I want to mention it anyways. Let me just, where's my, there it is. So, I don't know how many of you guys pay attention to the Twitter feed, but they've been posting more and more scandalous photos as time has gone on here. I don't get it. I truly don't. Not at all. Anyways, let's move on before YouTube decides that I should be closed down for posting stuff I probably shouldn't. Let me just move this around here. You gotta remember too, these kids in canon are young. Why do they do this? Why is it like this? Waifu is money. I'd understand that if they actually released them in game instead of just making them, you know, Twitter bait. Huh. Alright, so EX skill 1. Alright, back we go. That looked like a disgustingly easy to whiff animation. They even whiff it in the video. No, that's garbage. Go away. Rolling Buster. Alright, yeah, that's bog standard OP. We know that. That's just so good. And the cutscene. I didn't realize I had my audio on. It's beautiful. I love it. Now, I want to bring up two things with this. Two things with this EX skill, okay? First, okay? Cinematically, I think this looks really good. I like the way that they've framed this. I think this looks really good. I like this a lot. But, oh, geez, my nose just got all stuffy. The big one. This. You know what this shows me? It shows me they're capable of creating cinematic EX skills now. And when I say cinematic, I mean truly cinematic. So picture this. Join me on this magical adventure through, please God do this so I can wail. Imagine an EX skill on a Freedom variant or a Legend or Providence variant where you get to use the Genesis. You hit the enemy, you do something, whether it's using your meteors or whatever. The scene pans out much like this. Instead of something getting shot through a laser and exploding, you see the Genesis cannon charging. It blasts a giant laser, cuts back to the game. You just see the massive laser just plow through the enemy. Or you don't even see that. It just cuts to the cannon, it fires, and it just pans out, and you just see the beam flying out into space, big explosion or something. Just cinematic. And I think that's a really cool thing with seeing this that I hope they start moving more towards into is the more cinematic stuff. One thing that I'm going to mention here, one big reason I'm still playing Fate Grand Order is because the Noble Phantasms, like, okay, sure, I'm a legacy player. I've been playing that game since JP launched, so I'm heavily invested in it. But the Noble Phantasms keep getting better and better and better and better. If you go back 3.5, 4 years and look at Fate Grand Order back then in JP, none of the Noble like, they were flashy, Noble Phantasms, but they were okay. And then there was the advent where they started adding in the servant face cuts, where you would have the Noble Phantasm charging, it would cut into the servant's face, then they'd have a cinematic pan out of something to show the attack and really give it more gravitas, right? And that immediately made it feel so much more vivid. It made it feel better to use them. The most recent anniversary servant in Fate Grand Order, her Noble Phantasm is summoning a giant fucking meteor in space and hurling it down at the planet. And when it hits, you get that feedback of an explosion. You see the ground being ripped up. When the explosion is gone, there's a big searing crater. It's that level of vividness that makes things so appealing. And I see this, didn't mean to hit the mic. I see the cinematic cut, and all I can think of is how much fun the devs can have implementing EX skills with this. How much like cinematic feeling they can give them and really make things look and feel great to use. Because currently there are some cutscene EX skills that you use and you go, oh, this is really, really cool. And some of them where it's like, oh, that's okay. Remember the EX skill where you summon in the Ptolemy from 00, right? Imagine that, except in this cutscene format where it solely cams in, the cannons rotate, just blast some lasers or something. That's the kind of stuff I'm really hoping for. Granted, there's obviously the big issue of it's really going to make people want to roll on the newer suits and the newer content because it looks cooler, it feels cooler, and don't worry, I get you, that's not ideal for the players. But that doesn't mean they can't go back and update old EX skills with new animations. We've already seen them change EX skill animations when you alternate a part. Why not give us an ability to upgrade or change an EX skill with an item or something to a new, more cinematic experience? Update the old, really cool suits. An idea, perhaps. Probably a very ambitious one that won't bring them a lot of money, so who knows if they'll do it. But the potential is now there. And I'm really happy about that. Right? So, yeah. Is it AoE? From what we're seeing, when the suit actually attacks and starts using this beam, here as you can see, the shot is angled upwards. Or forwards, potentially. But I'm going to assume upwards as the suit has entered kind of a falling parabolic arc. So, with that in mind, this seems to be a single target blast, which I'm fine with. It looks really cool, and I think that's what matters here, is we've entered a state of the game where we have so much power we don't know what to do with it. Give players reason to roll, and I think this is an excellent reason for people to roll. Reenact cinematic experiences from your favorite series in actual, format, an actual cinematic form, instead of just an homage to it, right? That's kind of the difference here. So, God, my ear is itchy. Time to catch up on the chat here. How does it look as an observer in the event multi-mission? So that is a really, really good question to ask. Historically, when you use a cutscene EX skill, you see it from your own camera angle, right? You see the cut in, you know, it zooms into them and then they do their animation, but you get to control your screen. You see them do the animation. They get all the fancy camera angles. I'm assuming this works in the same fashion, where you, as someone that is not using the EX skill, you'll see the beginning, you'll hit them in the air. You see this like big star field that's around them. I don't know how that's actually going to be implemented, and I'm interested to see what this looks like from a third-person perspective. But from my understanding of how they've implemented EX skills up until this point, it'll probably be contained within the client and whoever the target is, and everyone else will just see the animation playing out of the primary suit, nothing else. So we'll see, though. If somebody rolls it and uses it, let me know, because I'm really interested in that as well. That's actually a really, really good question to ask. Meteor Ultra spam on Freedom. Hell, I'm in for that night. That sounds fucking amazing. But that's what I mean. There's so many cool scenes from so many different series that could really, really benefit from this kind of cinematic cut. This is dope. I'm actually contemplating buying Haro chips just to try to get this gun. Or this EX skill, because this is the torso EX, by the way, because holy crap, this is cool. This is really, really cool. Yeah, make these cutscenes exclusive for 7-star or higher. I think I would be okay with that under the condition that they actually get older suits up to 7-star as well. Not saying those older suits all need to have these fancy cutscene animations to them, but I really do want 7-star to become something that's available to all suits and not just new suits going forward, because that is a hard power gate that I think is ridiculous to actually put upon us players. That 100% needs to be available for previous suits, and I really hope that they give us an announcement soon confirming, hey guys, we've heard your complaints about 7-star. You know, we're gonna cut you some slack. Here's 40 suits, you know, that didn't have 7-star that now have it from previous gaches or whatever, you know, like they did with the limited Sokai stuff. Oh god, who gave me money? Oh no, Goldhawk. Thank you, Goldhawk. Oh, I was half joking, but now I'm gonna do it. So thank you, Goldhawk. God, that's so cool. God, so cool. Damn, so cool. Shit. Yeah. Okay. I was actually so enthralled by that video that my phone actually went to sleep. That's next level. Oh, hold on. Am I getting that phone lag again between my screen and everything? Give me a second here. Let me reconnect my display here. Okay, so that's actually really good to know for future streams, is if I let my phone go to sleep and turn it back on, it gets that disgusting delay. Like I was saying in a previous stream, right? Like here's my phone screen, right? If I hit the menu button, there's like a full few seconds of delay on it. Seems to only happen when my phone goes to sleep and I wake it up. I just got to be more wary of that. Okay. The cutscene EX skills will be annoying as hell if people are spamming, unless only the user sees it. And that's what I'm expecting, because up until this point, all EX skills that are used, you only see the cinematic camera shots from the view of the player. Everyone else can just keep doing their thing, and it's not forcing them into a cutscene. So it'll be really interesting if somebody can actually confirm that or not. Okay. My phone's EX skill. Okay, you know what? I have to... I want to roll now for the torso really badly, but I want to finish looking at all the stuff. All the stuff's the alteration. We'll do the alteration, and then we'll go hit the gacha up, okay? So, as I stated before, I'm not going to be looking at the stats for the Sinanju or the Wing Gundam Zero, purely because, frankly, 7-star, still not enough data for it. None of the old suits have been up. When I saw the Sinanju with the 7-star thing, I was super friggin' excited, because my first thought was, we finally have an old suit updated that I can use as a baseline comparison point. We finally got something worth it. And then I realized the attribute was wrong, and I was like, you didn't just do that. Bandai did just do that. Why? Why are you like this, Bandai? Why do you break my heart every week? So, yeah. Oh, don't forget rerun alters. Okay. We'll start with the reruns, and then we'll go on to the new stuff. All right. Gelgoog. Let's go. Gelgoog. Char Aznable. Oh. For anyone that hasn't watched me do alterations before, when I talk about them, I'm going to be completely ignoring the stats. I'm going to be looking purely at the traits and or EX skill. Reason being is when you alternate a part, it is safe to assume that the stats will unilaterally increase, as we have less than 5 examples in this game so far out of the thousands of parts where the stats drastically differ. I always recommend that you do your own research, make sure the numbers are what you want before you invest in alterating them. If you don't, hey, you know what? It's your problem, not mine at that point. Word tags also don't change during alteration, just the traits or EX skills. That's all I'm really going to look at. I'll leave the rest to you. So, Gelgoog Char Aznable. While Zeon projectile speed boosts by 14%. No. Leg parts EX skill power boosts by 30%. So that's actually a really good multiplier for a welfare suit. 30% solid numbers. The leg part makes it a little more difficult. It is at least generic. It's not like a, leg parts shooting skill power boost or whatever kind of, it's just general EX on the leg. That's great. You can use a melee shot. But as it is restricted only to the leg slot, that means you're potentially forsaking a general EX skill power boost to general melee boost, which would affect all EX skills instead of just a single one. But depends on your build, depends on what you're doing. Maybe you have a 100% cooldown reduction bisect that you really like spamming. I don't fucking know. All right. Cool beans. Torso. With speed attribute, revive with 30% armor one time. That's guts. Frankly, if you're triggering guts in this game, you're either extremely new, in which case you probably can't really afford alterations to begin with, or you're dying, you kind of need to get good. I don't think you should waste a slot on this, but again, each to their own. Do whatever makes you happy, build whatever you want. I just don't think guts is really that great. With speed attribute, enemy EX skill power or enemy EX skill penetration reduced by 28%. I've already talked about this. This is how much of the defenses and resistances that an EX skill is going to ignore when hitting a target. This reduces it by 28%. So someone that has a D pierce skill will not really notice the effect. Someone that's using an A plus pierce will definitely feel their attacks hitting like wet noodles in comparison. Not really my jam, either of them. With Twin Blades category equipped, melee power boosted by 25%. That's very straightforward, very simple. Slap a Twin Blade category weapon, you get a melee power boost. Cool beans. It's a good number, good multiplier. Outfighter job, really easy to get those. Enemy special shot power reduced by 30%. That is not useful at all. So special shot, that is something you can only access when you are using a long shooter or a mid shooter job license, and that is what happens when you hold down the neutral shot attack. For example, beam rifles would do the wing zero, large beam that they channel for the entire duration. Bazookas will charge a single powerful shot. Things like those are special shots. Those are very rarely used by players. AIs sometimes spam them, but because they're so easy to telegraph and dodge, they're useless, frankly. So, no. Legs. Comet shot. D Pierce, A minus power, A shot attack and melee defense reduction. So the A minus power with the very low cooldown makes it a appealing EX skill for a welfare. It really depends on the application of it. I've never been a fan of Comet Shot, frankly, or any of the Comet line. I've always just found them really easy to whiff, and the payload's not worth it when you could slot other EX skills. But if you like it, it's a good upgrade. A minus power, it's going to hit pretty hard, and you got really good cooldown on it. Backpack. Twin Blade Slash. No thanks, that animation makes it not worth it on its own. The Beam Naginata. While Zeon, melee damage output boosted by a flat number. Wow, useless. With speed attribute, job gauge increase boosted by 17%. It is easy to activate speed attribute. Trivially easy. The job gauge increase, though, is something I'm not a big fan of. I still don't think the job licenses do enough in this game. I feel like they could be much better than they currently are, but this is a mileage may vary scenario, and I know a lot of people do enjoy the job licenses. With that in mind, do whatever makes you happy. If you like using your job license, that 17% boost is healthy. However, the first trait is it's so bad. It's just so bad. At least the Naginata has a lot of attacks in its pattern, so it can leverage, the flat damage a lot like an SMG could. But, nah, man. Alright, Beam Rifle. When in multi-mission sortie, EX skill power boosts by 25%. Alright, cool. For those of you that spam multi-missions, this is a potentially viable pick. The multiplier is a little low, only sitting at 25% versus the 30% and the newer 40% numbers that we've been seeing. But for a welfare part, sure. When beam resistance is over 5,000, very easy to do. Special shot damage output boosted by 35. That's a flat number. That's also known as garbage. Moving right along. And the shield, the last part for this suit. When armor is 60% or less, you have 0 vernier consumption for 10 seconds. Enmity style skill, no thank you, I'll pass, thanks for playing. With speed attribute, melee damage output boosted by a flat number. Why? Why do you have 3 of these traits on you? What is your end game? No. Not playing with this one. No thanks. No thanks, bud. Alright, let's take a look at the TR5, and then we'll look at the Abyss. I forgot how good the Hirairu looks. I really like the headpiece on this one. They really did do the shield bad, you're right. Alright, so, Gunpla TR5 Hirairu. With power attribute, shooting damage output boosted by a flat number. Worthless. With power attribute, mid-shot attack raised by 20%. Really easy to get power attribute. However, mid-shot actually refers to neutral. When it comes to using ranged weapons, there are 3 distances, or 4 technically. You have close range, where you are extremely close, mid-range where you're a little further away, long range where you're relatively far away, and then out of range where your attacks won't even get to them before the weapon actually dissipates. Now, with that in mind, each weapon type has its own bonuses. SMGs are for close range, beam rifles, bazookas, mid-range, rifles, long range. So mid-shot attack boost is actually referring to that mid-range distance between you and the foe. You can tell where your distance is based on your reticle. And it would obviously see the best boost from something like a beam rifle or bazooka that already gets a bonus from mid-shot range. However, no, you want a general shooting power boost or an EX skill power boost, in my opinion, versus a mid-shot attack boost, purely because of the fact that who really uses neutrals? Like, we just spam EX skills, let's be real. Everyone just has a magazine EX on demand, whether it's melee or not. So what's the point, frankly? Yeah. Early on, it could be useful, but it falls off kind of hard. Anyways, with that in mind, yeah, next part, torso. When 2 enemies shot down, vernier consumption equals 0 for 10 seconds. I don't think vernier consumption is really that useful at all. 2 enemies shot down also heavily restricts where you can actually use this in the first place. Like, you can't use it on one-on-one fights for obvious reasons, I hope. Middle shooter job. EX skill power piercing boosts by 28%. Now, that's a very interesting second trait. Okay, observational systems prevent you from doing anything. All right. Well, to be fair, I think, as I originally had said, I think that kind of EX skill is best used on a either passive buffer or someone that has their buffs laid out where they use observational resistance last. Or that's something that you just purely set up the suit for, where it takes almost no damage and its entire purpose is to use that EX skill and just hunker down and give the buff. Because it is a huge buff. You got to kind of build that suit around using that EX skill, but good to note. Good to note. Anyways, back to this. Vernier consumption, I don't think is useful to begin with. 2 enemy shot down heavily restricts the usage. Middle shooter job, super easy to get. EX skill piercing boosted is just raising how much of the enemy's defense and resistances you ignore when you're hitting them with something. In this situation, EX skill in particular. I don't think either of these traits are excessively good with this combination. I think if the first trait was something that boosted EX skill power and then you had an EX skill pierce, that would be really, really good because that's really symbiotic. But with this, at least it's a high multiplier. All right, arms. Beam cannon. B plus power, D pierce. All right. It's pretty much like a bog standard B plus power shot. Yeah, is what it is. As what's printed on the tin here, frankly. Do keep in mind, not all B and B plus power skills actually output the damage you're expecting. We do have a few cases in this game where the expected damage is actually lower than what you would want. And that's just the way it goes. We still don't have a damage formula, so it's all, you know, mysticism to us right now. So on paper, this should be pretty good. In practice, thank God only knows. Legs. Well, mid-range, special shot power boosts by 25%. Mid-range in this case refers to the word tag. Special shot power, I've already talked about that. Not really worth it. When attacking with beam, EX skill power boosts by 30%. Now, this is a neutral, as you can use on both melee and shot builds, as both melee and shot have access to beam type EX skills. You have your beam shot and beam physical. They are both a thing. Acceptable. The first trait, however, does obviously kind of gear it a little more towards shot machines, but honestly, you can kind of just ignore the first trait, frankly. I don't know anyone that actually uses special shot other than AIs, and it's so easy to dodge. All right, the backpack. Middle shooter job, Vernier recovery rate boosted by 16%. I don't think this is necessary at all. I've never run into a scenario where I'm out of Vernier, but I think the melee players probably have a different tune to sing than I do about that one. Personally, I don't find this very useful. When shot attack is over 5,000, super easy to do, especially with the recent power creep stuff. Enemy special shot power reduced by 30%. Only going to affect the suit this is equipped on. At least 30% is a high number. That's pretty much it, but it is special shot, which makes it functionally not that great. And lastly, our weapon, the long blade rifle. With power attribute, shooting damage output boosted by a flat number. As you all know, I love that. When melee attack is over 5,000, long shot attack raised by 20%. What? Okay, sure. This is referring to distance again, so your long shot attack is when you're far away. 20% is at least a nice number, as it is a multiplier percentage instead of a, you know, oh, it does 100 more damage per hit. It doesn't matter. But at least this is a percentile boost. However, it is still, no. Much like the mid-range, it's just not worth it. Man, these welfares are just getting crapped on, dude. All right, and the Abyss. Season 2 druggies. Let's go! Yeah, even as a melee player, couldn't care about Vernier, just spam EX skills. Yeah, that sounds like everything in this game right now. The meta is spam. So, anyways, Abyss Gundam Head. With Lance category equipped, mid-shot attack raised by 14%. I talked about that. With technique attribute, shooting crit rate boosted. Crit in this game is garbage. Moving right along. Torso. Calidus multi-phase beam cannon. A- pierce, B power. As I mentioned before, B power is kind of finicky. Sometimes it does the damage we expect, sometimes it doesn't. A minus Pierce does bring a lot to the table for this though, as that will ignore a large amount of the enemy's defenses and resistances on paper. Again, we don't know the battle formula, so God only knows, frankly. Yeah. Medium cooldown. No, it's a pocket rocket, effectively. Arms. 3 barrel beam cannon, A minus Pierce, B power. See what I said about the previous one, even has the exact same cooldowns. Legs. I said legs, good sir. With technique attribute, projectile speed boosted by 14%. Nope. While mid-range, enemy EX skill power reduced by 30%. Nope. Backpack. Balena Kai dual beam cannons, B plus power, D pierce, low cooldowns. All right. On paper, this looks effective. In practice, I don't know fucking idea. I'd have to use it to know. Yeah. On paper, it looks good. And lastly, the Abyss's Beam Lance. While Transformer, initial EX skill charge boosts by 12%. Transformer, super available, tons of parts with that word tag. This shouldn't be too difficult to scrounge up. Initial EX skill charge boost. This only affects the first cooldown cycle, not subsequent ones. You'd want normal EX skill cooldown reduction to affect everything. With technique attribute, all power boosted by 25%. That is one hell of a second trait. That is amazing as a second trait. Damn. All right. Balena Kai was good before alter. Awesome. Means it's going to be even better post alter. So there you go. You got the Balena Kai backpack EX skill and the Beam Lance's second trait. Both of those, they look really nice. Yeah. Cool beans. Okay. So now we're on to our Sinanju and Wing Gundam 0. Now, as I did mention, I'm not going to be looking at the stats because it's 7-star. We still don't have a baseline for this stuff, so it's a crapshoot, and we know the numbers are going to be big and burr. It's just 7-star in a nutshell. So, Sinanju, build project speed attribute. Let's take a look at these alternated traits. While Commander, EX skill power boost by 35%. Commander, super available. This is more of a shot spec machine, so you're probably going to run it anyways with this part. EX skill power boost, always nice. Second highest multiplier, we have 35% versus the highest 40. When armor, 70% or more, shooting power boosted by 35%. It is really easy to keep your armor above 70, don't get hit, and the shooting power boost complements the EX skill power boost. Good stuff. Good stuff. Commander and Ace exclusive word tags as well. Man, this guy is loaded. Torso, hull unit. Attach your hull unit and fire the myriad mega particle Gannon gun ports on your Gunpla. Raise shot attack by 49%. That is the second highest buff based number that we've seen. 49%, we've seen 59% on gamma buffs, and then we have obviously the newest observational one, which is 69. But this is solid. B plus power, D pierce, medium cooldown at 60 seconds. It looks like it's going to hit like a truck, frankly. Did you know both Sinanju have Commander as primary? Honestly, not too surprised when you consider what the Sinanju is. Commander and Zeon. Zeon is a helpful tertiary tag. Commander, very good. Although I do find it kind of sus that they have Zeon as the tertiary on clearly what is a shot machine, especially when the head had Ace exclusive. But at least you can easily swap out tags. All right. Arms. Beam Tonfa. All right. So this is S power, D pierce, low cooldown. So this is another one of those S power on low cooldown build projects, much like the Shining Finger. That was from last year. I think that was what, summerish. All right, cool beans. I got no real complaints about this. Beam Tonfa's good stuff. Commander Zeon tags again. Okay, legs. With rifle category equipped, really easy to do. Lots of powerful beam rifles. EX skill cooldown reduced by 20%. There you go. Second highest mod for that. Highest is 23% if I remember correctly. Cool beans. Reborn build had 54% on it on Awakening. All right, cool. So we got 49%, 54, 59, and 69. So pretty much the same then as Melee, except the 54 was on a standard pick ticket part instead of build project. Now, while Ace exclusive EX skill power boosts by 35%. So this is one of those things I look at and I think, amazing. We have an EX skill cooldown reduction, second highest mod in the game by 3%. And then while Ace exclusive, you get an EX skill power boost. Cooldown reduction, as well as the EX skill power boost. Oh, thanks, Kaiju. Thanks for the super chat. Nice. That is terrifying. I'm going to be spending so much on this gacha. Please no. All right. Legs, dope. Oh, what are the tags? It's a Commander Ace exclusive again. Okay. Backpack. While Commander job gauge increase boosts by 20%, I've already talked about this. I'll move on. Melee damage raised 10%, meaning you're going to take 10% more melee damage. EX skill power boosted by 35%. That is a very powerful boost. Second highest, as the highest is 40%. Good stuff. First trait, not a personal big fan of, but each to their own. All right, let's take a look at the axe. When attacking with beam, EX skill power boost by 20%. All right. Lots of really good beam EX skills, and that's not shot or melee focused. All right. When operated on auto, debuff EX skill effect up 15%. That's interesting. We have yet to see anything on the suit that'll debuff the opponent, so I wonder if that comes next. Guess we'll see. First trait, very powerful. Second trait, it's okay. Mana, why do you do this? Why do you bring Fate references in here? What are you doing? You madman. Yeah, okay. I was just looking at that part. I was like, that was oddly familiar. All right, Naginata. Before 60 seconds pass, all enemies cooldown time up 23%. All right, so that's really solid. For the first minute, everyone suffers on the enemy team. Torso parts EX skill power boost by 35%. Well, we have a lot of nice torso EX skills, but as I've mentioned, I don't like the fact that it restricts it to a single part. I understand why it's there, but I just don't like it personally, but it's still a good multiplier. The 23% cooldown time up is really powerful as well. That can definitely change a fight with all these 100% CDR builds running around. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Okay. Beam rifle. Rocket bazooka. Wow, that looks really familiar. Yeah, so it's your bog standard magazine, B plus power, D pierce, 11 magazine. If it's anything like the original Sinanju's, dope. Good stuff. Good stuff. And the shield. While commander, enemy shooting power reduced by 30%. Not sure if I want that on my primary suit. 41 seconds cooldown though. The thing is, frankly, Mana, 11 magazine on a B plus power 7-star shield. Gonna be shredding stuff. Like, you're just straight gonna be shredding stuff. It doesn't matter if there's oh it has a long cooldown. Everyone's running 100% cooldown or something very close to that field of effect, and you should just be mauling everything anyways. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's 60 seconds, 41 seconds, 85 seconds. People typically have anywhere between 60 to 80% cooldown reduction, if not higher, at least if they're aiming for that kind of build. So it really boils down to a difference of maybe 5 to 6 seconds. Like, it's not really a big deal. It's a cutscene X, right? All right. Ranged weapons EX skill power boost by 35%. Ranged weapon is referring to the ranged weapon slot. In this scenario, would be the beam rifle with its magazine. Cool stuff. Okay. Well, overall, very interesting Sinanju. I'm actually going to go grab an actual drink really quick because I'm kind of parched. I'll be right back just a second here. And then I get to look at the Wing Gundam Zero and then roll the gacha. Joys. I want that. All right, and we're back for more fun. In case anyone was wondering what I got to drink, you can't actually see it because of the ring light. Let me turn it off here real quick. Yeah. Oh, now my camera's doing that flashy thing. I just got myself some water. Because it turns out we're out of almost everything else. We have like a little bit of milk left and some OJ. And I didn't really want to make a cup of tea. As nice as that would have been, I don't want to delay the stream like 5-6 minutes while I wait for a cup of tea, so. Now, back to what we were doing. Same color as vodka. Look, I say it's water, therefore it's water. Just deal with it. Alright. And a winter mint, because my nose is getting really stuffy. So I figure some mint in my life will help. Now, let's take a look at the Wing Gundam Zero. While high firepower, initial EX skill charge boost by 25%. Alright. Just an out of the gate crazy high mod, sure. Alright. Alright. When attacking with beam, shooting power boosted by 40%. Alright, sure. What the hell is this shit, man? Like, it's just so easy to satisfy both of these things. And even though it's initial EX skill charge instead of general cooldown reduction, 25% is huge. That's actually nuts. Ace exclusive high firepower. Crazy. Alright, torso. Colony break. Oh, yeah. I know what I'm talking about. D Pierce, S power, cutscene cooldown. Speed 20% boost. Shot attack 49% boost. Defense 19% boost. Beautiful. Can't wait to try to get you, buddy boy. Arms. Round slicer. We did see the cutscene animation for this. No. It's so easy to whiff. They actually even whiffed it on the demonstration. That's how easy it is to whiff. Alright, legs. Long shooter job. Really easy to do. Shooting power boosted by 30%. Solid. Shot damage raised 10%. You take 10% more shot damage. Revive with 60% armor one time. Second trait, not that great. First trait, good stuff. Backpack. Okay. This is another amazing friggin' combo. While Ace exclusive, shooting power boosted by 40%, you're going to be running Ace exclusive. It's a shot suit. Shot damage raised by 20%. Take 20% more damage from shot. You know, just don't get hit. And you get a 40% EX skill power boost. Have Ace exclusive. 40% shooting and EX skill power boost. Huzzah! The revive is really going to fuck over someone's arena? Truly depends. I've seen arena matches where even if the enemy had like 7 guts, it wouldn't matter. You hit them with a magazine skill, it chonks off half their HP. Shoot them again, they're dead. Oh, they have a revive. Boom, boom. Oh, they have another revive. Boom, boom. I got 11 friggin' shots in the sucker, man. I can keep going. And this is just one EX skill. I haven't even used Colony Drop. I haven't even used anything else. Right? So yeah, guts are neat, but unless your suit is unbelievably tanky and hard to kill to begin with, not really that useful, frankly. All right, we left off on the legs. Yes. Backpack. Yep, Ace exclusive. Yep, we just looked at that too. Beam sword. All right, new part. Against enemy with advantageous attribute, EX skill power boosted by 30%, and torso parts EX skill power boosted by 35%. Acceptable. The EX skill power boost for general is okay. As I mentioned before, you don't really have too much control over the type of attribute you're fighting, but if you know ahead of time, you can plan for it. Powerful little boost. The torso part obviously restricts, you know, your EX skill power output, because it only affects one of them. But, you know, it's okay. Not terribly amazing. It's okay. Our Rolling Buster. A plus Pierce, B plus Power. Shit's gonna slap. Let's be real. Beam Rifles. The Twin Buster rifle variant. With Power attribute, EX skill power boosts by 30%. Power, easy to do. When buffed, very easy to accomplish in this game. You can sneeze and get buffed, I swear to God. EX skill power boosted by a further 35%. So as long as you have the power attribute and you use an EX skill that buffs you before you actually do any damage, 65% EX skill power boost. Flat addition. Beautiful. And lastly, our shield. While Gundam type, buff EX skill effect up 22%, so that takes all the numbers and just adds 22% to them. Alright, sure. After 8 seconds pass, buff EX skill effect up 30%. Okay. So, how to put this nicely? If your suit has the Gundam type word tag and 8 seconds have passed, any buff that you use is getting a 52% flat additional increase. To keep in mind, so for example, the torso for the suit has a 49% shot attack boost. In the scenario that I use it, and I have this shield, and 8 seconds has passed, that shot buff goes over 100%. Okay. It's the thing that I laid eyes on today, I guess. Oh boy. Well, let's get cracking into the gacha, gang. Not much else to see here besides power creep and depression. Depression that will never finish the whole suit. So, I'm going to quickly hit up the dollary holes over here. Let me see. Where's my hidey button? There's my hidey button. Okay. Oh, the big sale packs are gone. Big sad. It's okay though. Do, do, do. And that. All right. Let us suffer together, gang. So that's using all of you guys' donated dollary dues. Hmm. Let me check my gift box real quick here. No, so the new Sinanju is a build project. And the 7-star variants only for that build project, Sinanju. So you need to build the parts and then alternate them with the limited materials from shop and events. If that instills any faith in you. Okay. Hmm. You know what, fuck it. Let's give you guys some good content. Let's go. Okay. So, I am now sitting at 20,000 Haro chips, gang. Let's do it. So, I'm gonna roll the guaranteed step up. Only because I'm guaranteed the parts, and then after I've burned through the 3 rounds, I'll hop over to the actual capsules for it. So, fingers crossed, I'm looking for the torso. All right, so that's a skip. Give me the gold. Give me the gold. Actually, no, I'm looking for 6-star, right? Because that's what this thing drops as base rarity now, is 6-star. So this last roll is going to be guaranteed. So let's see what happens. All right, gang. Buckle up. See what happens. Now as my phone's a little bit ahead, I'm just staring at my my restreaming going on, so I'm not spoiled. It's difficult, let me tell you. Show me the money. My luck in this game's been really bad recently. Even with the lack of spanner I rolled on, I think Bamco Spy's tired of my shit. I was so hopeful for a second there. So hopeful. Are we gonna actually go to the last part for this? I think we are actually going all the way to the last part. I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. Alright, 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 alright. We cooking. We cooking. Yeah, I got a nice little rave stick. All right. Come on, give me more than just one. I think this is going to be another last item kind of dealio. Come on. Show me the torso. Oh my god, I thought that was another orange saber. I was gonna be so pissed. Arms, okay. Those are the ones with the really crappy EX skill on them. Is that it? That's it. Alright, number 3. Let's get my guaranteed and then get back into the loop. Doing a little bit of speed up here so we're not waiting, you know, like a minute in between rolls, you know? Ya dig? Yeah. Absolute pity. Torso, torso, torso. Yes! Yes! Yeah! Alright, fuck yeah. Let's go. Alright. Dope. Alright, come here, you. You're immediately getting altered. Let's go. Okay. And then upgrade. Tune you directly up. Let's go. And body boost. Everton. God, those numbers are just disgusting. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. So, wow, even out of the box has a 40% shot attack boost. That's friggin' nuts. Yeah, look at these numbers. Like, this is actually ridiculous. Look at the numbers on this part. I just look at that. 7-star is just so unbelievably busted. And these marks aren't even maxed. Like, these are legit. Like, they're not maxed, obviously. Absolutely just friggin'... crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. Friggin' insane. All right. How much do I got? So I actually ended up using all the rolls that you guys actually sent me. I don't need any more parts from the... Like, I would like a rolling buster, but it's 100% not required. I got what I wanted. I think that's what matters here. I'm going to cut my losses before I regret it. Fuck yeah, though. Torso. I do have one last loop left, but there's no need to actually roll it. Like, I could, obviously. But the only Haro chips I have left are the 1100 or 11K that I bought myself after I used the donations. I'm gonna save that for the next banner, or the next banner I want to roll on. I should be very specific about that. Primarily because, yeah, it costs a lot to get a 7-star rarity part, and something tells me we're going to see more of them in the future. I'd also like to kind of start, after using everything on Lacus, I do kind of want to start building up a horde again, so that when an Amaterasu inevitably drops in the future, I can actually roll for the damn thing, you know? Because that would be the most heartbreaking, is if that thing released and I was lacking the prerequisite Haro chips to actually obtain it. My only hope is that it's not a build project. If it's a build project, I am so royally screwed. Now, Sinanju. How many did I roll here? Where's an A? I think it's torso 6, yeah. Alright, so I got one extra. Maybe one of the next couple of banners coming up will interest me. Yeah, the gold frame Amaterasu, the final version, so to speak, of it. Anyways, yeah. So, I'm gonna wrap up, guys. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I might do another stream before the end of the week. I don't know. I'll kind of mull on that one. I'm not sure if I want to, but if I do, I'll let you know in Discord. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. See you on the next one.